morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Rachel, and thank you very much for attending my DEC presentation.
Yay.
Okay, so let's see how we do this.
I know, I feel bad. I should have taken you up to the centering room.
Let me make you go to the next slide.
Is it the air?
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go.
Just delayed reaction.
Yes. Okay, so for the overview of the presentation, I'm going to go over my goals and objectives for DEC,
Hey, Dulce.
the practice model I used, the needs assessment we did together,
Yes.
the survey results, the website, and then the sustainability plan. Okay, so for my goals, my first goal was to improve and advance my knowledge on OT's role in perinatal care throughout evidence-based research. My first objective was to develop and find content for intrinsic factors such as occupations, cognition, psychological, physiological, motor, sensory. And then the second one was like based off of culture, social support, environment, technology, capital policy, legislation, all the things that encompass a mom, a woman. And then goal 2 was to gain skills in program development and to implement health promotion for women going through MatriSense through development of educational videos, which are in the website.
They look pretty good.
The first objective was to create a survey and have the perinatal patients at Durham Women's Clinic and online through social media fill out the survey based on just like their experiences, just to gain knowledge from that. And then objective 4 was to use the data to help guide my research and the educational videos. And then objective 5 was to create a post survey, which I'll be giving over to you for part of the sustainability plan. And then you can pass that out once the videos and the website has been live and people can actually access it and see how it's going,
Right.
what you need to change. And then my last goal was to gain leadership and advocacy skills by developing accessible and usable educational materials, by developing a proposal to advocate for OT's role and also perinatal care services. So this one has a lot of objectives. So objective 6 was creating the QR code that will take people to the website. Objective 7 was still a pre-survey, but this one was looking more at the demographics of the area, who we're reaching, who we're not reaching. And then the post-survey, same thing. Did the educational videos work? Are they helpful? Are they not helpful? And then objective 9, OT's role in perinatal care. And then objective 10, disseminating through a PowerPoint, which is what I
Good job.
So this is the model that I used for the research and just like guiding OT's role, PT's role within working with women. You have the physical environment, culture, spirituality, mental health, all the things that tie a mom into who she is and being able to take care of the baby.
So much.
So for the needs assessment, the strengths were that DWC offers a wide range of services with all the practitioners and doctors and everybody. And then several of the providers are bilingual, which is great. You already have services like the new website that just launched, all that outsourcing of links and everything.
Yeah.
And then just your staff. And then you have some classes that are offered virtually for mothers. And then weaknesses, there was low social media coverage for pelvic floor specifically. There was no handouts given out during the centering services, but a lot of vocal and verbal
She did
information.
with Stacy for centering.
Yeah.
You could do that at least once or twice?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was super informational.
Yeah.
There was no handouts, and I was like overwhelmed, and I'm not a mom, so.
Yeah.
And then like the thick packet that they give to the
It's huge.
patients, yeah.
Yes.
And then it's not accessible online.
I
Like, this
know,
information.
which is what we're working on.
Mhm.
And then so the opportunities was creating the educational website, adding a translation component to the website, which we'll go over in the sustainability plan, growing social media for pelvic floor, perinatal care, reaching more diverse population, which we can track through the surveys if they're filling them out, and then maybe adding an OT to the staff to help Kelly.
Dude, love it.
And then threats was the lack of time to make the resources accessible, the initiation to make like a pelvic floor specific social media, and then there's already like pelvic floor therapists out there like on social media that have like a big following, so that would be like a competition kind of thing. And then just like the sustainability of the project.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 6 results. Oh wait.
Well, that's because I gave the thing to Stacy.
Mhm.
I don't know how.
She didn't pass it.
I am.
It's okay. But
I feel like that always happens now.
Yeah.
Like when you get a link for a survey,
They're
you
like,
watch and you're like, okay, it's been a week, 2 people
Yes.
have opened it. Yeah.
yeah.
I
So-
love it. I don't.
With the survey, I put it on Facebook, and that's where I got the most
Yeah.
people to like
That was
respond.
smart.
And then I sent it to Avery to post whenever it's
Yeah.
her timeline for the social media. And then, yep, QR code was given and passed along to the centering classes. So we had 6 women fill it out, 5 white, 1 Japanese, 5 from North Carolina, 1 from South Carolina. So it's
Well,
cool.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that it can reach others.
Yeah.
And if we put like the website, like URL or link or whatever,
Yeah.
people can get access to it in different states.
Yes.
3 were first time mothers, 3 were on like their 2nd or 3rd child, so had a little bit more experience. Just from the 6, it was only 6 women that filled this out, but there was so much information to gain from them. So like, and this is like 1 and 1 they correlate. So this is person number 1, person
Yeah.
number 2. So person number 1, they felt prepared for the lack of sleep, but they were not prepared for breastfeeding and the challenges they had with that. Number 2, they felt prepared for newborn care, but they were not prepared for breastfeeding, or in their words, everything that happens after labor. Number 3 felt prepared for nothing,
Oh.
and she was not prepared for the postpartum depression.
That's hard.
Yeah, I read that and I was like,
Oh.
that's so
Yeah, that's
sad.
like terrible. She was
Yeah.
having like a long day.
Oh.
Yeah. And then number
Nothing.
4, they had great family support, and they were not prepared for the positives of motherhood. So that was sweet.
That's sweet.
Yeah. Number 5, they had a breastfeeding coach lined up, but they were not prepared for the stages of birth and how to push or having a C-section.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah. And then number 6, they knew the process of a vaginal birth versus C-section, but they were not prepared for breastfeeding, sleep schedule, feeding schedule, all that kind of stuff. Which is why I think, and we'll go into it in sustainability, but PT is so good for like the physical ailments, but OT is great for sleep schedule,
That is
feeding,
OT.
depression. Like it just
Yeah.
compares so well here
Yeah.
with PT.
Yeah.
So I just picked a few of the statistics that were like relevant to PT/OT because there was a lot, so I didn't want to put them all in here. So for one of these questions, it says, did you have any mental health struggles associated with pregnancy, postpartum? And 66.7% said yes, and they had postpartum depression, or, well, that's supposed to say perinatal depression, because postpartum and postnatal are the same thing.
What's perinatal?
Perinatal is like prenatal.
Prepartum.
Yeah, before you have birth, so while you're
Okay.
pregnant.
During.
And then, have you had any physical pain since becoming pregnant or having your child? Only 3 people said yes to this out of the 6, but look what they had multiple. They had back pain, diastasis recti, umbilical hernia, knee pain.
Yeah.
All things we've seen with your patients that
Yeah.
come through here.
All back.
And then, are there activities you've been unable to participate in since becoming pregnant or giving birth? What you would like to participate in? This is like an OT geared question. Being able to do your daily activities, things you want to do. So running, bladder leakage. We had that one lady
Oh yeah.
who came in specifically for
For
that.
that, yeah.
We have time for leisure and self-care activities, trying to balance life with a baby, and then just things that people want to do is weightlifting, recreational sports.
Yeah.
So now for the website. If it goes, it's loading.
Just so funny because Gunter the other day was like, do you still have that QR code that I could send patients to? I was like, Gunter, we're working on that. Like, he's so funny. He's like, is it there? Can I just get give that to some patients, and I've had like 3 midwives who've been like, do you have like exercises you give for sciatica? I was like, we will.
Yeah.
We will. Yes, Anna, I promise I'm getting there.
How
But I
do
get it.
how do I get it to pull up this?
Maybe.
Do you know how you can? Cause I clicked on it, but then it went.
Is there like a remote for this?
It was
it
right there. Yeah.
Here, what if I end it? Here, let me
Yeah.
just end it.
And then if you like pull up the website,
Okay, that's working now.
there,
It's like your
and
live
then you can do
stream.
that. Yep, there.
Perfect. Okay, so this, I'm gonna hold my laptop. This is the front page, home page, and we have what Mattress Sense is, physical therapy's role. Obviously, that's not all of it because
That's okay.
But
I mean, I think
it was a good chunk to
Yeah,
start
you don't want to
with.
overwhelm.
I agree. I think sometimes there is such
Less-
thing as too much to read.
There's
Yeah.
too much. I think even on the website there's like a
Oh, there's a
tons.
ton.
I was like,
Yeah.
you could probably minimize.
And then I
Whoever
have
did that when I first came, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Did you like Google all the things that teach you
Yeah,
that?
honestly.
and then we have what OT can do
Yeah.
for mom, and then we have our services. So if we go, well, actually, let's go to the about page first. So Kelly,
Oh,
there's you.
yeah,
What you do, and then a little blurb about me. Oh, my head got cut.
wow.
It's okay. And then the model, just so people know like
Yeah.
how we're basing this website off
Yeah.
of. And then we'll go to perinatal page. So just have a little blurb about what the perinatal period is, and then these are just common conditions. I'm gonna go through each one, but
Yeah.
not in detail, just
Yeah.
kind of like show you.
Yeah.
So each one has a little bit about what it is, some images to help you understand why this is happening, and then risk factors. We have urge and stress incontinence on this one, and then it's showing up weird on here, but it's normal on the website.
Yeah.
And then like
A
these
bladder
will take
diary.
you to a bladder diary
Perfect.
and with instructions, or these are the videos that we did and exercises.
Use Jessica. Although
Yeah.
now she's looking way more pregnant.
Yes, she does
Yeah.
look way more pregnant now. And then
We'll have to get her at like 35 weeks. It's like
In prime time.
Yes.
so then SI pain shows you where the pain would be. Risk factors, exercises. It's literally, this is how each page is laid out. So
I know. It's a lot of like great content, but I know you're not gonna read it all.
No.
Yeah, but it's a great content.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
if someone is having some issues or they get that, they can look at it.
I just like the pictures because it's like
Yeah.
shows you. Like,
Mhm.
oh, this is
Or
what it's
relax.
supposed to look like. This is what mine probably looks like
Yeah.
with this.
Just like it's tighter.
Yeah, signs and symptoms, and then all the
Breathing, meditation, guided. Oh yeah, good. You added the pelvic release. That's a cool YouTube video.
I
It's
listened
free.
to it.
It's just a YouTube video on guided pelvic floor relaxation.
And then we have how it shows why your pubic symphysis would be stretching and you
Yeah.
have pain down there. These are good questions to ask yourself if you think you might be having pubic symphysis pain. And then exercises. There's a lot more we stuck with more for like the perinatal period.
We didn't do much into postnatal.
But it's forever. You could keep
forever.
adding
Mhm.
as
Yeah.
much as you wanted. Round ligament pain, symptoms, exercises. Let's see.
It looks good.
Thanks. Preeclampsia. There was a few that I added just because I
Yeah.
was like, it's so common in women.
So common. We just didn't get to go over.
Mhm.
Preeclampsia is a great, yeah.
Preeclampsia, signs, symptoms, and then I just did like a general like
Yeah.
physical activity diet is a good way. And then same thing for gestational diabetes. What it is. I got some more scientific
Yeah,
in this one just to
absolutely.
kind of help them understand what it is. I still try to use layman's terms. And then risks, symptoms, complications that you might have from it. And then same thing, diet and nutrition
Yeah.
is really what we could help
That's
them
what we
with.
do, yeah.
And then perinatal depression and anxiety. So just some stats so they don't feel like I'm the only one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then risk factors, then signs for depression, signs for anxiety. Then I have like exercises, some breathwork journaling, stuff like that. And then if they need suicide or maternal health crisis hotline.
There's also, we could add in like some local, like I know a lot of our providers will refer to like awakenings and like those local, we could just add a link, just add, I'm sure they would be like, please, it's like free.
Community resources.
But the community resources do help.
Yeah.
Or anyone that Stacy, you know, that she likes or, you know.
Yeah, and they have so much more like specific knowledge on that, which if they want that in here, more than welcome.
Yeah, or maybe we leave it as is and then they could get referrals.
Yeah, and that's why it's like,
sometimes that's better too, is I talk about that out loud. Yeah.
And that's what I told Avery. I was like, it depends on what they're comfortable putting on the internet for everyone.
Right.
Versus, do you want to come in for a consultation?
Right,
Do you want
which
them?
might actually be better.
Yeah. So something like that.
Oh, preparing for birth.
Preparing for birth, why it's important to prepare for birth. I actually heard this podcast that was like, we as women prepare so much for our wedding with planning, trying to get in shape for everything. You're like, why wouldn't you prepare for what's going to be the rest of your life, which is your child? So I was like, that's so smart.
Yeah,
I've never heard it like that before.
Yeah, but it is so true.
Yeah.
It is so true.
So preparing for birth, and then we just did vaginal and C-section. Vaginal delivery, what it is, I have the stages in here. And then preparation, staying hydrated, physical activity, stretching. I linked DWC's classes that they offer, and then specific exercises that you could do. And then C-section, same thing, what it is. I went through like what the layers they actually cut to show like that's how much they're cutting into you, just to like give you an understanding.
Yeah.
And then reasons for a C-section, preparing for it, and then specific exercises that you could do. And then we're getting there. Postnatal section.
You've got a lot of content.
Yeah. So postnatal, what it is, what this period is, and then specific conditions that women may have. So we'll start with diastasis recti, what it is. I love this picture.
Yeah.
On the website, I guess it is more yellow, kind of like the olive skin tone.
Yeah.
Just to include diversity.
I love it, exactly.
Risk factors, and then interventions, exercises. I really like the log rolling.
Yeah.
And then how to pick up, mechanics, the hypopressive breathing.
Yeah. Those are great.
Carpal tunnel.
Super common.
Is it?
It is.
It's especially with breastfeeding from holding the baby.
Oh, okay. That
They will
makes
complain
sense.
about numbness
There's
all
like
the time.
so much shit that happens. It's
So
like
I agree.
There is.
I know. The pregnant people are going to come to this website and they're like, oh my god, I don't think I have this, but do I?
Yeah.
They're going to be like, no, it's great. Your information is the right information.
Well, and a lot of pregnant women say that they go to like their doctors are like, yeah, that's normal during pregnancy. But it's like specific conditions that could be treated or
Be treated.
modifications.
They are normal, but it can
But
be
yes, it
treated.
can be
They're
treated.
common.
Yes. So with carpal tunnel syndrome, a little bit about what it is, risk factors, symptoms. I showed you like where you would feel it.
Yeah.
And then exercises, interventions, breastfeeding ergonomics, which is huge.
Huge.
Median nerve glides,
Yeah.
wearing a brace, and then I have a little video of this
That's
lady
awesome.
doing I think is breastfeeding next? Yeah. So with breastfeeding, just like
I think a lot of patients will like that.
yeah, it's a co-occupation. I explained what a co-occupation is. It's just when you have a relationship with someone else, this in case being the baby, and you're like physically, emotionally, mentally taking care of it, working with each other. So breastfeeding, and then I have different proper breastfeeding positions, tips on how to do it, and then videos for like several different.
Yeah.
And these are all like research, evidence-based
Yeah.
research positions. And then the breastfeeding class for here.
Yeah. Which I think Stacy is doing, right?
I think she's
I think
doing
so.
Sure.
Yeah. You're like, they just give me the content.
Yeah.
I just put it on the website.
Yeah.
Yes, I think she is, and I think they'll probably be expanding that too.
Yeah. And then I have like tips, and this is kind of like, this is like ergonomic tips,
Yeah.
just making sure that I liked this one. It was like use a pop socket or a loopy case to hold your phone because it keeps it in a neutral position versus it like in a hook position.
Huh.
While you're like, because everyone likes to get
Everyone
comfortable
likes
and
to
hold
get
their
comfortable
phone.
and look at their
Mhm.
phone. All of that.
C-section recovery, a little bit about it. That's the image of like the baby showing the layers. And then these are the risks, and it's linked, so like if they want to know more about infection to site, they can click here and it will take them to like a specific
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PDF that I found. And so they're all like that. They all have
Awesome.
like a read more if you want to know more about this.
Yeah.
And then tips with recovery, laying flat, there's videos, how to pick up your baby, again, the log roll. And then this one has like the most. So 0 to 6 weeks post-op, what you can do. And then after 6 weeks, what you can do.
We did do a lot.
We did a lot for this.
We did do a lot for that.
Yeah.
I think that's good though, because a lot of people end up 36% of people will have a C-section.
Yeah.
And it's increasing.
And it is increasing, and they're like, what the heck can I do? And it's like, you can actually, there's so much, 9 times out of 10, I guess someone will be like, what can I do? Like, should I even see for recovery? I'm like, 1,000%.
Yeah.
They went through your abdominal muscle. That's way more than going through the vaginal muscle.
Yeah. And then,
Postpartum depression.
yep, so another blurb about it. It's kind of similar to the perinatal. I just changed a few things. I added baby blues, so knowing the difference between that, postpartum psychosis if it's not treated, knowing the symptoms for that because that's really severe.
Yeah.
It's very rare. Like, what does it say? There's a small percentage. It's like 1 to 4 pregnancy or women develop this because these symptoms are missed, and those are the cases, the scary cases where you see like the mom harming the baby and then herself or something.
Yeah.
So just knowing about it.
Yeah.
And then exercises and interventions, just more like mindfulness, trying to just find internal peace and mindfulness and everything. Journaling, being in nature, which again is like scientifically proven. And then this one I added the
Psychosis. That's awesome.
And then I think that's the last one there. And then this is my
Sustainability.
Sustainability.
Everyone's gonna click on that. They're like, I
need this, and then they see that.
Coming soon.
And then contact, getting in touch during women's clinics, hours, both locations.
Yes, I went to Briar Creek.
I don't know how. I texted her last night. I was like, we're going to Durham, right? And then I think I just typed in Durham Women's Clinic and I clicked
Are you in Raleigh?
the Briar Creek. I'm downtown Raleigh, yeah.
Oh, that's why.
So yeah, that was
Briar
a
Creek's
little
so
bit
much
closer. And then I was literally like 2 minutes. My GPS was like 2 minutes. I was like, wow, my God, this has been the quickest drive ever. And then I was like, why the hell is it making me pull into Briar Creek?
And you're like, that's why.
Yeah. And then these are all my references.
I know you did a lot of research. You did great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did do a lot of
you
research.
did
A lot of
a lot of
research.
She did. She got it.
All right, and then we'll just I think it's sustainability.
Oh yeah, the
Okay.
QR code.
I like this QR code
Yeah,
because it's a woman.
It's cute.
See, and I linked it because you'll have to, right now the QR code, we talked about this, but
Yeah.
it's the website's in my
Oh right.
domain.
So you'll have to
So when I
transfer it.
transfer it, you can just go here and get yourself a free one.
Nice.
And they still have that. That's where I got it from.
Nice. I like it.
So, sustainability plan, Avery.
Continue.
is going to continue adding the content.
Avery's pay raise for adding.
Yes. And we talked about it. It depends
Yeah.
on how often they want her to
I
add
know.
stuff, because it's a lot. It doesn't, and even like making the website pages, like you don't think like looking at it like, oh, maybe that it didn't take that long to like put together a page, but like the formatting and messing with the layout and all the tiny things that like take the longest. So just making sure Avery's compensated.
Yes.
And we agreed that's like what she feels comfortable with, and we'll talk to Cindy about and everything.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing that, because we'll have to buy a domain and then make the website public, which is like in and of itself gonna be like almost $1,000. And then I'm currently at 1,500, and then we'll have to. So I'm like totally happy to take over everything, but I don't know if they're gonna like.
It's gonna the process of like how we because it's up to Cindy really and how she wants to. If you want to add, because I was thinking adding like a link to the patient education.
That's what I was thinking. If we could, instead of doing a whole new domain, well, no, do you have to do this is like a whole new domain? So you would have to add this on the DWC website.
It would have to be a like totally separate website.
There couldn't be a link.
Because even if there's a link,
it
would
like
go
to
to that
website.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it.
So that's part.
That could be part of it. Yeah.
And then just like these were some of the topics that came further on, and then I'll pass along the post survey to you guys. And then the multilingual, you can make this website in any language.
Oh, nice.
Obviously, you have to pay for it, but like if you have
nothing is free.
Nothing is free.
But if you have majority, you see like non-English is Spanish, or you see Chinese or whatever. You can choose what you want, and then it's only like a one-time payment. So that's good. It's not monthly to keep it up. And then I tested it out with the 10,000 words because it was like free or whatever at first, and it puts just like a little box up here that says English, and I had chosen Spanish, and it's like where you could drop it down and click Spanish, and then it just changes.
It translates it like for you.
Yeah, you can pick manual or automatic. Automatic.
Manual.
Automatic translation.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be. That's cool.
And then so this is
that would be
domain.
The domain website. Got it.
Yep. And then hi. So with my previous video, my phone ran out of storage right at the last 2 slides. So I still finished out my presentation to Kelly and Avery, but I just wanted to come on here and finish it for the rest of the video. So for the sustainability plan, right now the domain name for the website is under my email, so I'm going to be transferring that over to Avery, and we discussed that DWC could either pay for a domain name and can customize it to whatever they want, or Avery was saying that DWC already has a set email, so I told her if she used that email to do the Wix site, then she doesn't have to pay for a domain name because DWC would already be within the domain. And then you can also, with the free version, you can customize the very end of it. So like right now it's under my email, but I have it as like /DWC rehab and education, and that's what Durham Women's Clinic could do if they wanted to with the domain. So they can choose to pay for it, or there is a way to get around that. All right. And then we also discussed the possibility of adding an OT to the staff. So on this slide, I have the definition of OT, and then what a few areas that OT could help women, postpartum and perinatal women. And I discussed OTs can help with like healthy sleep routines and improving mental health, educating on milestones if the women were concerned about that, or modifying the environment, ergonomics, and OTs can also do pelvic floor therapy and education as well. Kelly and I discussed just how important having an OT could be, especially since Kelly's the only PT right now at Durham Women's Clinic, having an OT just to collaborate with on the patient care and
OT does more like functional activities of daily living. How are you going to function with your baby? How are you going to function now that you've had a baby and you want to do your own life still? So figuring that out. And then Kelly focuses more on the physical conditions and ailments, and OT can do that as well, like I stated. So I just see there's a lot of benefits to adding OT to DWC. And then lastly, I just gave a huge thank you to Kelly and Avery for all of their time and effort put into this. Kelly was the biggest help ever with letting me come in and shadow patients and collaborating with me for the website ideas and the specific conditions she wanted in here. And then I just want to say thank you to Avery for taking the time out of her schedule and to being willing to move on with the sustainability part of the project. She'll be taking over it, which is amazing. And then I just wanted to say a huge thank you to DWC for letting me be a student here and for letting me learn and grow from your patients. So thank you.